Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chase here at Rocky Mountain. Thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome to our 2024 Premium Off-Road Helmet Buyer's Guide. And let me just start by saying we are spoiled. In the last, I'd say, 8 to 10 years, we have just seen an explosion when it comes to cool helmet technology, both to make helmets lighter, safer, and just some other cool features that companies are starting to build into their helmets. And today I'm just gonna go through, we have 7 helmets up here on the table. And I'm gonna try and be pretty brief. I'm just gonna point out some of the key highlights that each helmet has that kind of separates them from the rest. I've also ridden in every helmet that is up here. So I will give you some of my personal feedback, but I don't wanna be too opinionated. I wanna leave it up to you to decide. I want you to go read rider reviews on the product pages and see what other people are saying about these helmets. But I will give some of my feedback just because, like I said, they're all just a little bit different in the way they fit, their safety, things like that. So I just wanna help give a good explanation of that. But also, please go watch the product spotlights. We've done them on every helmet up here. Those are much more thorough in detail as far as all the little nuances and every little detail that you're getting with this, because with the premium helmet comes a premium price tag. So please do your homework, learn about these, and make the best decision possible. Some of you might just decide on which helmet design and colorway you like the most, which is fine because all of these are great helmets. And others might look at a helmet and say, you know what, the safety features of that helmet I feel are gonna give me the best helmet possible. That's the one that I wanna go with. So do your research. With that being said, let's kick it off. Like I said, we got 7 helmets to run through, and we're gonna start out here with the Fly Formula S. So the new Formula S, S stands for Smart. This is the first helmet to come to market that has a chip inside that can record data. There's 5 sensors inside here, and Fly has a smart app that you can download that can record all your ride, give you ride analytics, which is awesome. But the big selling feature of the new smart technology is the crash analytics. Again, you wanna go watch that spotlight because I go into a little bit more detail about the app, and there is a subscription involved with this helmet. But when you unlock all the features of the smart technology, if you have a crash, it will record your impact data so you can see just how hard you actually did hit your head. And they also have it set up to where through your phone via the app, if you crash, the sensor can record that. It will automatically call 911 and dispatch authorities to your location and contact emergency contacts that you already have set up in your phone through that app. Now, like I said, there are some caveats in there, so make sure watch the product spotlight, but it's pretty phenomenal technology. Really cool to see Fly pushing that envelope. And again, as far as the actual helmet itself, it's the same Formula Carbon that we've seen for a few years now. Carbon fiber shell with their AIS system inside. Lots of cool safety technology. Go learn all about it. Then next up here in the front, you have the Shoei VFX-EVO. Shoei's been around a long time. It's a Japanese company, and I've said this in a ride review that I did for this helmet, that they kind of have a cult following, and I really didn't understand why until after I got one of those and I rode in it for the first time. And in my opinion, I think that Shoei, when it comes to just fit and finish, because all their helmets are handmade, and I honestly think that the fit and the finish of a Shoei is unmatched. When you just look at the quality of how everything is put together, the paint job, everything, you'll know what I'm talking about when you hold one of these helmets in your hand. And the other nice thing is just the fit. So talking with a lot of riders here, I've had multiple people try on all these different helmets. I can't find a single person who doesn't just love the fit of the VFX-EVO. And again, there's a ton of ride reviews that you can go look at. You're gonna see that common theme that most people, once they buy a Shoei, they don't go and wear anything else. They do have their MEDS technology inside there, which is for rotational energy management. And this is one of just 2 helmets up on the table that are Snell certified. Now, Snell is a nonprofit organization that has their own safety standards and testing for helmets. Now, some argue that their safety standards comes more from the street side and could be a little bit overkill for an off-road helmet, but some riders think that a Snell certified helmet is the safest helmet that is out there. So that's gonna be up to you to decide what's gonna be best. Only drawback to the Shoei that I could tell you is just the weight, which is pretty standard for a Snell certified helmet. They tend to be a little bit heavier. You come in just over 3 pounds in a size medium, but I'm gonna tell you, wearing it, it doesn't really feel that heavy, but I love the VFX-EVO. And then you have right here the Fox V3 RS, brand new for late 2023. Fox went through, they completely redesigned their V3 from the ground up, and I'm gonna tell you now, they did not stop at any expense to build you a really cool helmet. And there's some features about this that I think are phenomenal. So first of all, it's incredibly lightweight. A size medium is 2 pounds, 10 ounces. And that's the first thing that I noticed when I put this helmet on is, man, they got that weight down. It does meet the new ECE 2206 standard, which is nice. But aside from just the weight, there's some really cool safety features. They're using the MIPS Integra split system, which is the first helmet that I've seen utilizing that. We're all familiar with MIPS, right? It's for that rotational energy management. But the Integra split, inside here you have 2 EPS liners and separated by a liner that can help those two move freely from each other. But the inner liner that's closest to your head is completely split down the middle, and that's just gonna give you even more movement, because nowadays there's a huge emphasis on rotational energy management, and MIPS Integra Split is the latest technology to help combat that as best as possible. On top of that though, there's some other unique things about the V3 RS that you're not gonna see in most other helmets. So one, they have extra elastic loops on the cheek pad to route a sip tube or a hydration tube. If you're an off-road rider that likes to ride with that, you can route the sip tube through there. And they come with an extra mouth guard that has a hole already cut out for your sip tube to go through. And they include multiple visor extensions. You have just an extension, a completely separate visor with mud foam that can go on there. So for riders that ride in wet, rainy, muddy conditions, you're gonna get a helmet ready to go for that type of scenario. And last but not least, it comes with the cheek pads that are inside here, plus 2 extra sets so that you can fine tune the fit of the helmet and get it exactly how you want it. So again, that's the new V3 RS from Fox. Then you have the Bell Moto 10 Spherical. Been around for a couple years now, and this helmet, probably one of the best venting designs that is on the market. If you're looking for a helmet that's gonna vent really well, one that you might wanna consider, because with their spherical technology, they've got 2 EPS liners on the inside that move freely from each other. Again, talking about that rotational energy, full carbon fiber shell. But what's unique is that this top piece, and we'll give you a cool shot of this, if you were to take this piece off of the helmet, it's one giant channel of venting that goes through the entire thing. So it ventilates really well. I love the look of the Moto 10 Spherical. And the last feature about this that I love is their MERS, or magnetic cheek pad release system. The cheek pads are just on magnets. It is so much easier just to pull those things out if you want to let them dry out. If you got the helmet sweaty, pop them back in there. Might seem like a small detail, but it's something that I love about the Bell helmets. This is the second helmet of all 7 that is Snell certified. And just like the Shoei, really the only drawback that I can give to the Bell is the fact that it is the heaviest helmet up here. And after you ride in helmets that are right around 3 pounds or sub 3 pounds, you notice the weight a little bit. Size medium is about 3 pounds, 8 ounces. So it's about 5 ounces heavier than the next closest helmet. So I wish Bell could bring that weight down a little bit, but they stick with the Snell certification, which I know brings that weight up just a little bit. But overall, very safe, really cool features that are built into this. Now to my left here, I've got the Troy Lee Designs SE5 Carbon. Very lightweight, size medium, well under 3 pounds. So when TLD came out with this helmet, they're using the MIPS Integra system. So what that means is that the MIPS liner is actually molded onto the EPS, trying to give you the most movement possible, like I've spoken about, inside the helmet when you do have that crash. Another cool thing about TLD when it comes to safety is that they utilize different densities. It's a multi-piece EPS liner inside here, and all the pieces are different densities, because obviously in certain areas you're more prone to have a big impact. So in those areas they're going to use a firmer density EPS and then a lighter density EPS in other areas. That also helps bring the weight down to the helmet. Full carbon fiber shell. This helmet I also feel like does have a really good venting design. And when it comes to TLD, hey look, they've got some of the best paint jobs and color designs that are out there. And personally, I just love the look of the SE5 Carbon. And last thing I will say that I do like that Troy Lee Designs does is that you've got the SE5 Carbon. There are other versions of the SE5 that aren't a carbon fiber shell. You get a composite shell and some other things. So the helmet looks very, very similar, but comes in at quite a lower price point. Same thing goes for that Fly Formula. If you like this helmet, check out the CC version. It's just a carbon composite shell, couple ounces heavier, but about a few $100 cheaper. So be sure to check those out. All right, up here in the front, this is the 6D ATR2. Omnidirectional suspension, that is what is unique about 6D. I honestly feel like they revolutionized the helmet market. And after 6D came to market with the ATR1 years ago, everyone else from that point forward was trying to play catch up. And here's why. They have two liners on the inside. One is EPS, one is EPP, and those are separated by their omnidirectional suspension dampers. So little tower looking things, and those allow those two EPS liners to move back and forth in 6 degrees of motion. That's where the name comes from. But they also have a plastic, you can kind of call it a skeleton, in between those with these low friction discs to help get even more movement inside there. And one thing that's very unique about 6D is that this is the only helmet in here that you could say is rebuildable. In other words, if you crash, because the outer layer closest to your head is rebuildable. So if you have a bad impact, you can send your helmet back to 6D, they'll evaluate it, and obviously you can't compromise the shell, but if you just damage or say indent the EPS and the EPP on the inside, they can refurbish and replace that and send it back to you. So it's a heck of a lot cheaper than having to buy an all new helmet. Again, watch the product spotlight because in there I go into more detail about that, but it's a very comfortable helmet. I've spent a lot of time in the ATR2 and I've really grown to like this helmet. And like I said, their safety technology, I feel kind of revolutionized the safety technology in all helmets today. And then last but not least, you have the Klim F3 Carbon Pro. For off-road riders that want a helmet that's gonna breathe the best, that's the helmet I'm gonna tell you to go get. First of all, it's incredibly lightweight. A size medium is like 2 pounds, 8 ounces, 10 ounces right in there. It is crazy lightweight. And the way they do that is with their carbon fiber shell. Now, I do wanna point out that the F3 Carbon Pro is only ECE certified. It is not DOT compliant, so it is not a helmet that you could wear street legal here in the United States, so just keep that in mind. But here's why I'd steer you towards this helmet if you want one that is going to breathe incredibly well. So first of all, it's super lightweight, which you're gonna notice when you're wearing this thing all day long. The other feature too is that they use a material called Koroyd. So you have EPS inside there, but then you have this green material called Koroyd. And what Koroyd is laser welded tubes, and it's super lightweight and it breathes incredibly well. Because when you look at Koroyd, instead of being a solid construction, it's actually hollow and you can see right through it. So that means if you're doing slower, more technical riding where you're getting a lot of heat build up inside your helmet, maybe not as much airflow going through, it's really going to allow that heat to escape out of the helmet because there's nothing really holding it inside there. But it also does a phenomenal job of absorbing impact, and it's a progressive impact absorption all the way through. So Klim uses the Koroyd in the F3, they have it in the F5, they even have it in their Cryos Adventure helmet as well, but super lightweight, very comfortable, incredibly breathable. And that's why we have the F3 Carbon up here, or the F3 Carbon Pro. And that's it. That does it for our 2024 Premium Helmet Buyer's Guide. Now look, there's premium helmets that I didn't have up here on the table. I can't fit all of them up here like the Alpinestars SM10. That helmet, carbon fiber shell, the A-head fit system, multi-density EPS with the MIFs, a lot of cool features in that. If you want to check that helmet out, good, and go watch the product spotlight. But I would love to hear your feedback. If you have one of these helmets, or even if you have a helmet that's not in this guide, what is it? What do you like? What do you dislike? Leave all that feedback and your questions down below, and we'll help to get those answered. To click the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com, that's all you gotta do to go shop all these helmets, to watch the product spotlights. And as always, we ship for free over 75 bucks. Last thing I'll mention, fit guarantee. If you buy any one of these helmets, if you're not happy with the fitment, send it back to us in brand new, unused. Don't go ride in it, but definitely try it on, wear it for a while in your house, just to make sure you don't feel any hot spots. If you don't like it though, you can send it back in brand new, unused condition. We'll give you free shipping both ways on your first exchange, and it could be you bought the V3 RS, don't like it, you want the ATR2, that's fine. We'll give you free shipping both ways to make sure you get the helmet that's gonna fit you best. As always, subscribe and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe, that way you always stay up to date. I'm Chase, and we'll see you on the trails.